See what this crazy man is talking about. Shout out Trump, man. He comes at you with a knife, you come at him with a bazooka. Tony, what's truth? See, truth is what I say, truth is what he say. There ain't no such thing as truth. I'm telling you, man. Shout out Trump, bro. Shout out Trump. Shout out Trump, bro. Let's see. He agrees to a 2 weeks ceasefire. I mean, bro, you're not gonna break the Iranians' like faith, bro. He said he was gonna drop bombs, nuclear bombs, on the facility, and what did 14 million of them stood outside the facility like, let's go.
That makes me furious every time I see it.
When you got that type of faith, bro, America would never have that type of faith. Never. I mean, I'm just being honest. America don't have that type of faith.
Against Iran, citing progress in negotiations. Let's get right to political reporter Chris Tye, who has the latest on this situation that really just changed in the last 20 or 25 minutes.
Since you signed off at 5 o'clock and we kicked on here at 6, at 7 o'clock Chicago time, Joe, had been the focal point, of course, if Iran did not hammer out a deal acceptable to the president, which included, among other things, reopening.
So did we get a deal?
The Strait of Hormuz. The president said, and I'm quoting here, a whole civil.
Because I'm not sure if he did 2 weeks because they got a deal or 2 weeks because he wasn't trying to kill 14 million people.
Civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. He said, I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. 90 minutes before an air campaign to knock out bridges and power plants would have been triggered, the president posting a 2-week ceasefire is now on, pending the opening of the strait. Here's what he wrote on Truth Social, saying, and I'm trimming this down, he says, the Prime Minister and Field Marshal of Pakistan said that they...
Niggas say it like that. What niggas at Pakistan?
Wanted him to hold off the destructive force, subject to Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I agree, the president said, to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks, calling it a double-sided ceasefire. Again, these are the president's words. The reason for doing so, Trump said, is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement.
I'm over there trying to work, and he's loud as hell, man. I love my family, but sometimes even family fucks with your energy, bro. Like when you're trying to do something, it's like, fuck. You feel me? I'm very sensitive to energy, and I'm realizing it's the people around me that get in my energy field that just fuck with me. You feel me? That just throw me off.
During long-term peace, saying the White House received a 10-point proposal and believe it is workable based on ways to negotiate further. Almost all points of past contention, the president said, have been agreed to between the U.S. and Iran.
Son. Stop.
We have not yet heard from the Iranian government to corroborate all of this. In the days leading up to this, there was public messaging from Iran that talks had stalled. The president, frustrated over oil prices and the...
It looks like a hell zone down there, man.
Strait being tied up, said the deal must be agreeable to...
I mean, that's why they have so much faith, though. They don't have all the fancy cars and nice buildings and all this shit that we have in the United States.
The president's language this morning, talking about the end of civilization, created a fracture among some of the president's most loyal allies.
I mean, it really does make sense of why they're so faithful to their religion, why they're so faithful to what they are. Because, bro, they don't have nothing.
Johnson of Wisconsin. We talked with a historian about why the president, in his estimation, felt boxed in, and a political insider on how rare this language is.
Show some sort of strength in a moment in which he feels weak, in which oil prices are rising.
Bro,
and
look
he
at
doesn't
the
know
gas, bro. That's Cali gas, bro. Cali is the worst state to be in. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. From a person that lived there for so many years, it's one of the worst states to be there, and I would never go back to a democratic state. Never.
Reopen the
I don't care. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I told myself once I left Cali, I'm like, bro, I'm staying in a republic state until I die. Because it's horrible. Like the rules, the regulations, the jealous ass people there, a whole bunch of Judas over there. Like it's just horrible, bro.
I've never heard that before. I'm checking through history. I don't think
California's not a flex, bro. It's not a flex to live there. It's not.
Drop the atomic bomb, I think.
Since the war began in February, Trump has set a series of deadlines threatening escalation of the conflict, only to back off just before they expire. So, Joe, I think there's going to be a lot of parsing through. Did the president blink? Was this savvy negotiating? So we'll continue to follow it, of course, very closely.
Despite all of the talk and the rhetoric, there's always been this question of, can President Trump find an off-ramp?
Right.
Because this is what, as you said, these experts are saying he's been boxed in with a number of these threats.
And what does a win look like, both politically and on the ground in Iran? So, again, the key thing tonight that we'll be watching for in the next few hours is messaging from Iran, because we have only heard the president's side of things. We need to hear if they agree with this and whether or not they will agree to the strait opening up, because that's conditional here.
That is the key. All right, Chris, thank you for the update. Appreciate it.
All right, let's see another video, because I want to make sure this video is at least 6 minutes long.
President Trump saying the U.S. will be working with Iran to make sure the regime does not enrich uranium for nuclear weapons. He made his comments.
Uranium, I don't know if y'all invested in the stock market, but whew, uranium is valuable.
This morning, one day after both nations agreed to a temporary ceasefire. KTLA's Eric Spillman in the newsroom now with the latest. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Jessica. It's important to point out that what the president is demanding and what Iran has agreed to are two different things. Iran still has 970 pounds of enriched uranium, but the...
So, okay, so now it's making sense. There's going to be a ceasefire. There's a 2 weeks hold only if Iran agrees to give us some uranium. Okay, that makes sense.
A ceasefire, a very shaky ceasefire, is in effect, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. has achieved what he called a decisive victory.
President Trump forged this moment. Iran
forged or threatened?
begged for this ceasefire.
Begged? No, they stood outside ready to die, bro. What do you mean, bro? Politics, it's all for show, bro, because the truth is so hidden in these lies and the way that they word it.
All know it. As the President truth this morning, a big day.
Like, how you gonna say they begged when they stood outside a nuclear facility, 14 million people ready to die? Like, that doesn't seem like begging to me. That seems like they are ready to accept their fate.
For world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory on the battlefield.
Man. Epic Fury, like we're in fucking Avengers.
Exceeded all military objectives. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is
bro,
a
that shit sounds like some shit out of a movie.
Workable basis on which to negotiate.
Some Avengers shit. They call it really called it Fury.
Minutes before his deadline to Iran was set to expire, he had promised that if Iran didn't agree to a deal, he would wipe out a whole civilization with massive strikes on the country's president signed on. Delegations from the U.S. and Iran are set to hold talks in Islamabad on Friday, and although Iran has said it will open the Strait of Hormuz, it may still try to collect tolls from ships that pass through that waterway, and shipping companies are still deciding if it's safe to use. Still invest weapon systems with thousands.
All right, well, that's it for this video. I'll be back at y'all next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out of here, man.